Kareem versus LeBron. Top 5 moments from each player. By the time this video gets published, LeBron James has broken the all-time scoring record previously held by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And with the crowning of Mr. James as the NBA scoring king, some think this will cement him as the NBA's greatest of all time. But we can't forget that this feat is only impressive because the skyhook master himself has been the all-time scoring leader for so long. So in this video, we're going to take a look at both Kareem and LeBron's top 5 moments in their respective NBA careers, side by side. Let's see how both of their careers stack up against each other. Number 5. LeBron's 2012 Eastern Conference Finals performance against the Celtics and Lou Alcindor's first variety game at UCLA. Both these moments have our two scoring machines introducing themselves into the basketball world, albeit for different reasons. For LeBron, overcoming the 0-2 deficit against their East rival Celtics was a much-needed reminder of his greatness, especially following his decision to leave Cleveland and his eventual finals loss to the Mavs in 2011. And for Lou Alcindor, which was Kareem's name before he converted to Islam, his 56-point performance in his UCLA Bruins debut showed the world what was to come in his storied NBA career. Number 4. The decision and Kareem's conversion to Islam. Two choices that forever changed the landscape of both of their careers. For Kareem, leaving behind his personhood as Lou Alcindor and converting to Islam was a means to find his real self and advocate for his black heritage amid people's expectations for him at the time. For LeBron, his decision to leave his hometown Cleveland for the Miami Heat was his way of taking the matters of winning into his own hands and teaming up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Both decisions left James and Abdul-Jabbar with more backlash than anyone could have ever imagined. However, we put these two choices together because of how both players rose to the challenge of these seismic events and scrutiny in their careers, and eventually solidified their place as great ambassadors for the game of basketball. These two are probably some of the most important basketball events in NBA history, without an actual ball being involved. Number 3. The first championships. Even as both King James and the Tower of Power showed early in their career that they were the real deal, we all know that winning an NBA title is the entryway to being considered one of the greats of the game. For LeBron, it was back in 2012 with the Miami Heat against the young Oklahoma City Thunder that finally erased any and all doubts about his title as the king. This was especially special after he came off a below-than-average performance against the Mavericks a year prior. For Kareem, his first championship for the Milwaukee Bucks back in 1971 showed everyone how dominant he could be, bagging a ring, the Finals MVP, the scoring title, and the MVP of the league award in just one season. For LeBron and Kareem, these championships not only put their names on the NBA's pantheon of greats, but they started what would eventually be a long and successful championship run not long after. Number 2. All-time NBA scorers. LeBron becoming the league's #1 scorer means a lot of things. It means that LeBron's dominance is unquestionable, as he has dominated the NBA for nearly 2 decades. It also puts into consideration how his level of play has not diminished even as he enters the twilight of his career. It's also equally as impressive to note that LeBron's playstyle is not even a scorer, as he's widely known as to be a pass-first guy. Perhaps the most important aspect of LeBron's crowning as scoring king is how it impacts the GOAT debates with him against Jordan. While Jordan's 6 championships with his Chicago Bulls and his track record when it comes to winning has always put him over LeBron, but being the all-time leading scorer of the league as a playmaker is no small thing. LeBron cements himself as probably the greatest NBA scorer the league has ever seen, and for some, that finally moves him over Jordan as the NBA's best player ever. But of course, we must not forget that even as the league has seen absolute scoring studs and players such as Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, Stephen Curry, and many others, Kareem has stood tall in holding the NBA's all-time scoring record for over 39 years. It was only on April 5th, 1984, when Kareem finally scored his 31,420th point that broke the NBA's all-time scoring record, moving him past none other than the Big Dipper himself, Wilt Chamberlain. Imagine being the NBA's all-time scoring leader and accumulating most of your points when the three-point line wasn't even in the league yet. That's how dominant Kareem was back in the day, and that's how impressive it is for LeBron to finally beat the record. Crazy. Number 1. The legacy-defining championships. 2 championships stand out from their numerous rings that sealed their careers as all-time NBA greats. For Kareem, it was his NBA Finals win against the Boston Celtics in 1985. For LeBron, it was overcoming the 3-1 lead against the 2016 Golden State Warriors. Considered by many as one of the best regular season teams in the history of the NBA, The Golden State Warriors were about to seal their dream season run of 73-9 in the regular season with a championship, leading against LeBron's Cavs 3-1. And at that point in time, no team had ever come back from a 3-1 hole in the NBA Finals. But through sheer greatness, the King emerged victorious. Likewise, Kareem's finals win in 1985 was nothing but pure magic. At 38 years old, his performance against Larry Bird's Celtics was one of sorcery. Turning back the clock, Kareem was awarded the finals MVP, averaging 25.7 points, 9 rebounds, and 5.2 assists to win over the defending champs, the Boston Celtics. His performance in leading a younger Magic Johnson was almost immortal and impossible. Both performances serve as crown jewels in historic NBA careers. And as we've seen, while LeBron passes Kareem as the all-time scoring leader of the NBA, the two players actually have way more in common in their careers than we think. What do you think of these top 5 plays? Comment down below and let us know. And for more content like this, be sure to catch that lob and dunk that subscribe button.